What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rants Red Talk, where we discuss all the topics you send through to me on Twitter. And before we go ahead, I want you to go over to the X and Rants YouTube channel. Me and my bro Expressions, as you know, we just started a YouTube channel. We're almost at 10,000 followers. I want you guys to go over there, hit subscribe on that channel if you haven't already. Turn your notifications on. We got plenty of content coming out. The brand new Bants and Sauce came out today at midday. We're going to be putting out lots of new content, another Q&A show, and also we're going to open the floor to you guys. Let us know what kind of content you want to see us make. We got vlogs, we got all sorts of stuff coming. So yeah, check that out. And obviously, I told you, man, got the Presence Blood merchandise. It's out now. That's links in the description. It's in the same link as my fight tickets, which are on sale now. My opponent will be announced very shortly. I've been training hard, guys, so yeah, there's a lot to do. It's exciting times, and obviously the GoFundMe link is in the description for all my videos. Mark's going to be pushing it. I'm going to be pushing it on the Flex and Rant show, raising money for Australia, also the homeless over here. So yeah, man, we're putting in work, guys. So enjoy the latest episode of Bants and Sauce.
Yeah, you finished the story.
Yeah, I came in the morning, blood. Like the sun
I was
woke
sleeping.
me
I went
up,
to
yeah,
sleep.
I woke up in the whip, bro. I don't remember any of the journey back at all, bro. And then I came into the yard, like literally just dragged my ass into the yard and just started whiting, bro.
And you leave him in the car?
I left him in the car.
Yeah.
I was throwing up, yeah, like I was throwing up in the toilet. Like mum came in and saw me just vomiting, and that was the first time she ever saw me drunk, blood. Cause man, I don't drink. So I was throwing up this, that, and the other, like proper mash. Mum was just laughing, and she was on the phone, innit? Like just laughing at man, bruv, telling people that I was dying, and I was dying. To be fair, I was fucked. And then after that, I went outside, put him in an Uber, sent him home, and then I went to bed. And then I woke up to like 10 missed calls, yeah, and bare messages saying, "Oh, right, my car's been stolen. I don't know where my car is. This, that, and the other. These times, his car was on our driveway.
He's a fool, bro.
Man called the feds to look for his car."
Jeez, I'm Expressions.
And it's Rants.
And welcome to the next episode of Bants and Sauce. AKA, we want the smoke. We want the smoke. We want the smoke. Jeez, we want the
This
smoke.
guy,
Jeez, he's singing it as
blood.
well. See, we want the smoke is in, fam. I'm telling you.
Man,
Hashtag, we
hashtag
want the smoke.
fam.
It's in, bruv. Oi.
Alright, that's enough of that. Now let's get to your questions, guys. And make sure you go and subscribe, bro. I want to hit 10k by the end of today. I know you lot got me. First one, Clover Diz. It says at Clover_D. Do you think we will bring in some reinforcements before or on Friday? And if we don't, how do you think the season will end? Honestly, do I think we will? Head tells me yes, because I feel like Woodward and the Glazers will want to do something before the window just to keep the fans on side. But my heart tells me no, we won't, because it just doesn't feel like it. I don't think a club that's in talks for a player and is sure of getting this player over the line allows the player to play up until how recently Bruno's played. Like, he risks injury every time he plays. So that tells me nothing ain't even close. So unless United are just going to cave last minute and just give Sporting whatever they want, I could see United being stubborn and not paying the money and us ending up with no one. When we're getting linked with the likes of Slimani, Tevez and Igalo, I think it's very, very worrying times at the club. Also, my last Rants Red Talk got blocked for copyright or something like that. The FA said that I used some copyright infringement stuff, even though I ain't used nothing. So that should be put straight back up. So all the people messaging me saying that they can't see it, that is why. A load of nonsense. But let me know what your opinions are, guys, on transfer activity. I only expect to see something because I think that the Glazers and Woodward will want to cover up the absolute mess that is there. However, I wouldn't be disappointed. I wouldn't be surprised if nothing happens. Next one, it says Matthew Chiavrella. Is Martial going to have to leave to see Mason play first 10 minutes down the middle? Absolutely not. Martial's already shown that he can play down the left. And yeah, so that won't be a problem. I think that Martial is, of course, he's our forward, but I think in Mason's years developing, I think that he just needs games. He doesn't have to play down the middle. He's better than Daniel James, a lot better than Daniel James. So just play Mason. Just play Mason from the right. That's all you need to do. Play Martial down the middle, or you can play them in a two, or you can play James on the right. You can play Martial on the left. You can play Greenwood down the middle. Like there's so many different things you could do, man. Do you know what I mean? You could play Martial down the middle, Greenwood on the right, James on the left, because Rashford's injured. There's so many different things. We don't have to worry about getting rid of one for the other. We are actually short in numbers. When you think United used to play with two up front, we had 4 strikers. Now we've got 4 wide players to play in 3 positions. So we're understaffed, we're undermanned. We don't need to worry about anyone going for someone to come in. We need more people to come in. At DJ_Andy, why does everyone keep saying Oli got rid of the dead wood? Sanchez, Lukaku and Smalling are not worse than Jones, Andreas, and we can throw Lingard in there, etc. He never got rid of dead wood, he got rid of higher wages. Facts only, bruv. That's exactly what he did. He got rid of the guys on the big wages. That's what he did. And I never looked at it like that. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a very, very good way of looking at it. He did indeed get rid of guys on the big wages. He did not get rid of dead wood per se. Lukaku wanted to leave, and he told Oli in March that he wanted to leave. So Oli knew ahead of time. Sanchez was in Oli's plans initially. If you saw at the beginning of the season, you were saying that Sanchez is going to be a big player for us, and then he left. Sanchez didn't want to play for Oli anymore. Chris Smalling didn't want to sit on the bench, and Oli made Smalling know that he wasn't first choice. So Smalling chose to leave. He did not get rid of these players. Like, there's not a single player that Oli said, yo, I don't want you, you can sling your rook. That's not how it went. So the illusion that Oli picked up these men and binned them, like, I don't know where it's come from. I think people just wanted to believe that Oli was the Messiah, and he was doing and he was doing something positive, and he knew what he was doing. But I think we've seen enough evidence to suggest that that isn't the case. So yeah, I don't even know how do you build on that. I honestly, yeah, he's definitely saved the Glazers a lot of money. Loads of players coming out, no one coming in. At Munaj A, and it says ... I don't know, ain't got your full name. You know, I know this isn't football related, but please tell me how you felt as soon as you heard the Kobe news. I still can't believe it. Bro, it's mad, innit? But it's the human way, innit? When you hear bad news or when you hear tragedies, it makes you value what you have, innit? It's just like when you get a cold and you got a blocked nose and you can't breathe. Only then do you appreciate just the ability to just breathe properly on a day-to-day basis. It sounds so simple, but your sleep's disrupted when you got a blocked nose, you're feeling stuffy, you're coughing and that. And you take for granted just normal things like being able to breathe properly and being able to sleep at night. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, when people die unexpectedly, people's families are obviously distraught and all those things happen. It makes you appreciate that everything's not on your time. Some things you can't plan. And there's a lot of things that people are putting off, saying, I'll do tomorrow, I'll do the next day. These things are not guaranteed. Next week's not guaranteed. You know what I mean? The next day's not guaranteed, bruv. Like, you can wake up in the morning and you see in the evening's not guaranteed. So, you know what I mean? It was a hard one, innit? It almost felt personal because obviously it's one of my heroes growing up here, but also because of what kind of person he was, you almost feel like you know certain people because they're always active on social media, they're always doing good things for the community. Only last week, the meme of him and his daughter was trending and people were making jokes like, guess what they're saying, this, that and the other. The guys are like, what? LeBron just overtook him into the top 3 all-time scorers. So that's the equivalent of us losing like a R9 or a Zidane in football. Like, he's an elite level athlete. So this is a massive loss. One thing it has told me as well, and also why like I am doing this boxing fight. Not only do I enjoy boxing as well, but the reason why not only do I enjoy boxing, but I like to raise money for charities and less fortunate, etc. when I do fight, because not only does it give me a purpose to train for, but I just believe that there's no point having a platform, yeah, having people that look up to you, people that support you and all that, if you don't use that to make a difference, innit? Whether it's just for homeless people that I do it for, or for Australia, or for something, like, do you know what I mean? This guy has made a profound difference in so many people's lives that so many people are distraught and devastated by this news, innit? And I just think that that's the real achievements in life, innit? It's the changes you make and how many people you affect, innit, with what you do. So yeah, man, it was a tough time. It still hasn't really sunken in, but do you know what I mean, boy? Life's for living, guys, and you just gotta put one foot in front of the other, smile and keep it moving, as he said, man. At Bakala Kelly, which with Poch available in the summer, do we see the season out with Ollie, or sack him now and get another interim until the end of the season to secure top 4, and then Poch begins in the summer? I would do that. I'd absolutely do that, man. I just think that a little bounce now on a run of 4 games on a trot would be enough to put Manchester United in a position where they could just about nick top 4, even though they don't deserve it, innit? I'll just bring someone in that's just going to change the fortunes. Do you know what I mean? You know, like Chelsea would bring in like a Gus Hiddink or something like that. Or an Ancelotti. He's not available, but like, that's the kind of move that I would have made, just like on an interim thing. I just think that United just need that. Just someone that would just steady the ship, make us harder to beat, and just get us over the line. Because I think we are in that territory where that can be done. I would do it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to have to ride it out with Wally till the end of the season, and then Pochettino will come in. I think the reason why Ollie's talking reckless like this is because I think he knows that come end of the season he's gone anyway, innit? And he's going to have a nice little compensation package. Hopefully they don't keep him at the club, because we don't need him anywhere near it. Let me know what you would do. Would you get rid of him now? Would you let him see out the season and risk losing top 4? Because I'm pretty sure if we keep him to the end of the season, top 4 is not a possibility. At Anas_488, as we've seen, our right wing needs serious surgery. Do you think the meanwhile Dalot and Greenwood should be the ones fighting out for that spot, as they are more clever footballers than Daniel James and offer more than him, especially against low block teams? Yeah, absolutely. But what Dalot showed me, yeah, was that I always said at wing back, the guy's a problem, because he's not an amazing defender, but he's good enough. And he's a good attacker. But if he plays as the fullback, it just means that, I don't know, it's a bit less predictable because there's more people around him. I think as a right winger, he could do that job. But he's not a right winger. It's more like a square pegs and round holes thing. I just think that we could play a formation that suits him. I'd love to see him and Williams as fullbacks. Like, I'd love to see it. There's nothing defensive about that. If you play 3 at the back, yeah, and you play Williams and Dalot as the fullbacks, mate, there's nothing defensive about that. You could even argue you could play Daniel James, yeah, as one of the fullbacks as well. Like, I just think, yeah, I'd like to see him as a wing back, not a fullback. And yeah, Mason, again, I agree that he has to be ahead of Daniel James in that formation with 3 up front. So yeah, against low block teams, Daniel James is a myth. I think we just have to see Daniel James against, away from home, probably against the better teams when we want to stay compact and hit them on a break. But even that doesn't seem to be working, because away from home, man lost to Arsenal, lost to Man City, lost to Liverpool. So Ollie's record against the top 6 that everyone was saying we were so good at, it just so happened we were playing at home and we got lucky. That's what it looks like now, innit? Let me know about that, guys. What do you think of the Dalot and Greenwood ahead of Dan James on the right hand side shout? WJ Barrett, why don't we just bring back Sanchez instead of panic buying a striker? I swear we pay nearly all of his salary, so we might as well just get him back. What are your thoughts? Bro, I think he's injured. From what I've heard, I think Alexis is injured and he's out for the season. So, man sent him out on loan, paying half his wages, then he's going to get injured and he's no good to us anyway. So, we are screwed in it with that. And that's why we're looking to do that. I just don't even know. Like, I didn't understand the whole thing. Only Manchester United could loan out a player, yeah, pay half their wages anyway, and then they go out and get injured. We might as well have kept him. But again, I think they just wanted to get him off the wage bill, innit? It's another Glazer cost-cutting exercise, guys. And with Oli coming out in support of the Glazers, saying there's nothing wrong with the structure of the club, saying that they're a family and he's been backed and the money's there and all of these things, like, he's made it clear that these are his guys, innit? Like, he can be bought. He was definitely opposing them at the beginning, and now all of a sudden he's best mates with them. People could turn around and say, yeah, well, it's his bosses, you're not going to go slag off your bosses. No, you're not. But there's certain things that you just don't have to say, and people can read between the lines. And he's made it very clear that when fans are saying, yo, there's a problem, and he's saying, no, there's not, like, he's picked a side, innit? So, as I said in my last video, at this point, yeah, if you're backing him and you're singing his name, you're backing the Glazers and you're backing Ed Woodward. Like, this isn't about him as a player. This is about him as a manager and what he's saying and he's doing right now. And everything he's saying and doing is opposing the very people that have been supporting him. So, yeah, it's a very strange one. Very strange one, man. Meh. So, yeah, Sanchez is out, mate. Last but not least, at Safe5044, do you think a portion of this fan base accepts mediocrity? After beating Tranmere, some fans were celebrating like we won the league. Joke. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, they do accept mediocrity, and it's a damn shame as well, man. But I don't know, a lot of fans are very, very gullible. A lot of fans, anything a manager says, they just lap it up, suck it up. Do you know what I'm saying? Loads of people were saying, like, when Mourinho was like, yo, this team ain't good enough to get top four, this team ain't good enough to play good football, I just have to work with what I've got, this, that, and the other. That was not the case, bro. Like, and he was lowering expectations, and I didn't like that about him, so I wanted him out. And Solskjaer's continued to lower expectations by telling man that, saying silly things like we should kind of be happy that the loss this year wasn't as bad as the loss last year. Like, who are we? Like, nah, you can't be saying these things, man. Like, he's got these man thinking that, yo, let's just not get battered. That's what our mindset is now for going into Man City games. Not let's go out there, yeah, and make them earn everything on the pitch. It's like, oh, let's just not get battered too bad. Everything about Oli is defeatist. But then, with the same breath, he'll turn around and say he's happy with the players he has. He's being backed. Everything's fine. But is it though? We're Manchester United. We can't be having this kind of attitude. So, I don't know. The whole thing's an absolute shambles. A lot of fans are not holding Oli to the same esteem that they held other managers because they like him. So, again, they've let their standards slip. They're not holding certain players to the standards that they used to hold players previously, so they've let their standards slip. When I hold players to the same standard that I held players previously, man are saying that I've got agendas and that I don't like certain people or certain things because certain man I don't think are good enough to wear the shirt. That's your opinion, isn't it? Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I'll always say I will judge Manchester United, the football club, the football team, I will judge them against where they should be, and that's competing in the Champions League, challenging for Premier League titles. So if I am hard on certain players because I'm comparing them to the people before them and the level that they should be at in order for us to win those things, that is the reason why. It's never personal. I don't know none of these guys for it not to be personal. If I see a man and I'm saying, like, he's the highest paid fullback in world football, he's out of shape, he ain't getting no assists, he's not overlapping, he's not doing all these things, it's not because I know the guy and I don't like him. It's because I'm thinking, Ro, you're on more money than Marcelo, bruv. And this is what you're offering us. We're Manchester United. You can't beat the first man with a cross. This is what I'm going to look at. And do you know what I mean? If certain people don't like it, honestly, don't give a toss. I'm not going to drop my standards because the guys at the club, and I reckon it comes from the top as well, are trying to lower the standards of the fans so they don't revolt, so they can continue milking, because they don't care about competing at that level. They just care about extorting money from the fans. So yes, let me know what you think about that, guys. That was your Rants Red Talk. Make sure you leave all your feedback and your comments in the description. As I said, I've been training hard. I got 6 weeks to my fight now, guys. Here's a few clips. So yeah, it's been getting tasty, innit? It's still early doors. Early doors, man. I had a few tough spars, man. Got my mouth bust on Saturday. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's all gravy. Ticket links in the description, as I said. The GoFundMe page. I got a $5,000 thing that I'm gonna hit. We hit 3.5 last time. To be honest, it's not even a lot of money. Like, for the views and all of that we get, literally, unfortunately, you can't donate small amounts like 50p's or something like that. But literally, from the views that I get from these kind of videos, like if everyone donated like 50p or like 20p, man could easily smash that. Like, it's not a lot in it. So you lot always support. If you can't get down to the fight to support me there, then absolutely support by just putting in. It don't even have to be a lot, as little as you can, because it just needs to be a lot. It's all about, I mean, a little bit. It's all about volume. Just a little bit in there. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel, Bants and Sauce. Get us up to 10k, please. Loads of new content coming for you. And all the people hollering at me, if you're interested, yeah, you could grab a t-shirt as well. You get me? Presents, that was a good bit of banter that came to life. You know what I'm saying? Got the logo on the sleeve, like the Champions League badge, bruv, because everything just has to be Champions League level, bruv. Like, this is what we are. We're Manchester United, innit? It's Champions League only. That's all man need to be talking about. It's not top four. It's not just competing for the league and that. Man need to be up there. Champions League settings, competing for that. That's where we need to be back. We need to be back at. And if it means that man have to run the Glazers out, run Woodward out, run all these man out, I'm on it. So big up for watching, and hopefully they unblock my last video and then you lot can get it back in a bit. But it's been emotional, guys. Peace.